Welcome to my channel Big Glen. My name's Glenn and I like to share with you what I've learned in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. Today I just wanted to talk about Hex and what I personally think of it. I'm not recommending this to anyone and I'm not suggesting this as financial advice. This is just my opinions on the Hex platform and what I'm currently doing with it. So whatever you choose to do it, make sure you do your research before you go ahead with anything. You can always send me a message either in the comment section down below or in Telegram if you want to join in and ask me any one-to-one questions. Moving on from that, thank you to all the subscribers. Don't forget to smash that like button before we jump into the video. So what is Hex? Hex is an ERC20 token that was created by the founder Richard Heart. Richard Heart is a big personality in the cryptocurrency space and he's always been a sort of Bitcoin maximalist over the years, and he's always argued his point about Bitcoin versus all the other ERC20 and Ethereum and XRP tokens that are out there. But what happened was, about 2 years ago, when the price of Bitcoin went down from 20,000 down to sort of 3.5, there was a bit more of a downbeat tone with Richard Heart, and I don't think it was just the price. He was actually querying, like, why has Bitcoin gone down as with all these other coins, and then when Bitcoin goes up, all the other coins follow it as well. Now we all know that you need to exchange Bitcoin to get these other coins anyway, but there's no sort of difference really. If Bitcoin goes down 5%, they all go down 5%. If Bitcoin goes up 3%, they all go up 3%. So he actually thought, do you know what is the point? What's the point? I believe. And he was like, why can't there be a coin out there that is different to Bitcoin and is uncorrelated to Bitcoin? So he went away and actually created Hex. Now, I think one of the big key factors of Hex is that Richard Heart also, when he talks in his live streams and also in his debates with other people, is that Bitcoin one day may be the global world currency, but that's only if the world need it. At the moment, we have something in place. So until that crashes and burns, which may be 100 years, 50 years, 30 years from now, there's no need to use Bitcoin. There's no incentive, there's no advertising, there's no marketing, there's no one there really pushing it. Obviously there's YouTubers like myself and other people in popular spaces on Twitter and stuff like that raving about Bitcoin. There's no urgency, there's no push, there's no need for Bitcoin until the day that we actually really need it. Obviously people are buying into Bitcoin hoping that day comes and hoping that the price of Bitcoin goes up, and I'm one of those people as well, so I'm not putting anyone down at all. But he actually went away and said, well, how comes these ICOs, these new token releasings, these scams, how can they get so many people onboarded to their platform so quickly, but yet Bitcoin takes ages for anyone to sort of really get adoption of it? And then you have to hope that merchants take it as well. So like, you need Amazon to accept Bitcoin, you need Argos, or you know, all these different, your credit card, and until the day that they actually say, yeah, we're going to use Bitcoin, really there's actually no need for Bitcoin. So he went away and created a platform where it sort of advertises itself in its referral program. It offers a interest rate based on you staking the coin, and he's actually given the coin away for free for anyone who held Bitcoin on December the 3rd. So if you had any Bitcoin in any wallet on December the 3rd, you can go to the website, paste your Bitcoin address, which you haven't got to worry about him being able, because he needs your private keys to move any funds. So he just needs the Bitcoin address to show that you, on the snapshot, you had Bitcoin in there, and then you will get Hex for free. So that's one of the ways you can get Hex. The other ways are going over to the Hex platform, and you can actually deposit Ethereum to Hex and actually receive Hex every single day. Now what he done was, there was 10,000 Hex created for every single Bitcoin in existence. But what he turned around and said was, actually, if you look at the number of wallets that hold most of the Bitcoin, there's several wallets where they've got tens of thousands of Bitcoin, hundreds of thousands, even Satoshi's wallet that has 1 million Bitcoin in there, and then there's just millions of other Bitcoin wallets that hold like 0.01 of a Bitcoin. So he said, well, what if I was to stop all the big whales from claiming their free Hex tokens, and I actually made it more even for all the little guys? So that's what he's tried to do, and this website here has a lot of information, probably more than we need, but I've never seen this level of transparency on a coin before. He's copied the EOS platform, where they actually did like a year-long ICO's initial coin offering, where every single day they created EOS, and depending on how much Ethereum you sent them, they actually gave you a set amount of EOS each day. But I remember the platform just having basically a bar, and it had like a little bar graph that was filling up, and it basically just said, oh, this is how much we've got left for today, and you deposited your Ethereum, you never saw the bar go up. So I don't know how well it worked. But this here is very clear and transparent. I've not seen this on a coin before. So all the days are listed here from the day that it was very first born, if you like. We've got day 1 here, December the 3rd, 2019, all the way up to today, which is day 151. Every single day there is about 500 million hex coins that are being created, and depending on how many people deposit Ethereum to the platform, they will get an equal amount of hex at the end of that day. So we can see here, say for example, day 16, December the 18th, there was 500 million hex created. There was 721 Ethereum uploaded to the platform. And for every 1 Ethereum, you actually received 709,490 hex per 1 Ethereum. The day has now closed for that day to join in, and then that's how much hex you would have received versus how much Ethereum you've uploaded. So let's fast forward 100 and something days, and there's me. These are my deposits that I made. I actually deposited 3.795 Ethereum, so just under 4 Ethereum, and I received just under 200,886, and that was on a day where 9,700 Ethereum was uploaded to the platform. So you can see here that it's just been growing and growing and growing. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6, and then it just jumps to 9, and then it jumps to 10. And yesterday we had 12,600 Ethereum sent to this platform. Now I actually reached out to Richard Hart, and I sent him a message, and I said, all this Ethereum that's being sent, where's it going? Who's receiving it? Now he's being very coy with it. I've seen him in interviews, and it's not just this question in particular, but he's basically trying to avoid the American law system, where if he basically promises or offers something to investors, his platform then becomes seen as a security, which then he is liable for everyone that's invested. He could be sued later on if the price doesn't go up. So he's saying, well, you don't need to know. It's better if you don't know. So whether you believe that or not, I leave that down to you. He's also not promising. He can't promise that the price of this is always going to go up, and he can't promise that 1 hex is going to be worth X amount on certain dates. So he's being very careful with what he says. He's bragging about what it has done, because that's fine. He can't promise you anything going forward, because then it becomes a security. That's something that you want to be wary of. I'm trying to give you my honest views on it. I'm sure there'll be Hex fans that comment on this video, oh, you don't realise. This is just from my point of view. I also sent Richard Hart about 5-6 other questions, and he answered all of them for me. So a lot of it describing how this system works and how I deposit and how I get my money and stuff like that. So I thank you very much to him. But me and him haven't had any chats at all. I'll even disclose the questions that I sent him and the answers he replied. There's no conversation in there at all about me promoting it or doing anything special in this at all. On day 141, I deposited Ethereum. I then deposited another lot because I noticed that there was a bit of a dip. Now, if I go over to the Coin Paprika website, which is slightly different to Coin Market Cap, and I'll explain why in a second, you can see here the price of Hex, it was very, very low, and then it just shot up, and then we had a bit of a dip day, and then it started to go up again. We had a bit of a dip, then it's shot up since. Now, what I like about this is that it almost incentivizes you to almost wait until those dip days to jump in. Because if I had waited one more day, there was a lot less Ethereum uploaded the next day, which means I would have got more hex per Ethereum. I uploaded 4.2 that day, and I got 55,000 per hex. If I'd waited one day, I would have got 65,000. So you know, it almost incentivizes you to think, oh, it's dipping, I'll buy in, which therefore pushes the price up. You see what I mean? Very clever. The last few days we've seen massive amounts, 11,000, 12,000, and currently today we've got 9 hours left of this buying in period of transferring your Ethereum into Hex. 9,500 already, so that's going to probably go into the 12, 13,000 mark, which is huge. So the price of Hex is going up every day. So if you are interested in getting in Hex, it's probably better to get in sooner rather than later, because if you look at these numbers ever since it's been created, apart from the first 2 days, it's just gone up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Obviously there has to be some sort of ceiling there. I am in the Telegram group chats for Hex, and a lot of people comment saying, oh, it's going to number 1 on CoinMarketCap and all that. I don't believe that at all. I don't think it will overtake Bitcoin in total market cap, but I do believe that if it gets within the top 10, the price will explode, because typically when you go onto CoinMarketCap, which is the main website that people look at, and I know other people like to use other platforms, but I'm talking the majority of people, this is what you're going to see. Now on my screen here you can see the top 13 cryptocurrencies. Now currently Hex is number 205 or something like that, 204. Again, it's had a massive day again, 18% gains. Yeah, rank 205, and when you click the reason why, it says this listing is not eligible for normal rankings. When you look into that further, it's because CoinMarketCap can't determine what the overall supply of Hex is. Because there's so many being created every single day, they can't determine, right, this is how much there will be and this is how much they'll end up with and all that sort of figures. So they don't like to post it. Now, I didn't know this, but Richard Hart has posted on a live stream that he's been in communication with them, and if they can't determine what your circulating supply is, bam, you're on page 3. So even if your market cap is more than, say, I don't know, XRPs, you will still be on page 3, because they don't allow any coin that they can't determine their total supply or circulating supply past the first 2 pages. Now, if you go over to CoinPaprika, which doesn't have this rule, it's, when I got involved, it was about 40, 45. It's now crept up to rank 29. So if, obviously, between Richard Hart and CoinMarketCap they sort this out, then you'll see Hex very high up. It's overtaken quite a lot of the platforms. Now, why is it so popular, you may ask? Why? You know, you send Ethereum, you get ERC20 token. Pfft, great, you know, there's a million of those. Why would you do Hex? So this brings me on to probably the most popular reason why people are trying to accumulate as much Hex as they can, as well as the price just going up. When you own the Hex tokens, or hearts they like to call them, you can stake them. So you can see here, this is my total balance of Hex that I have, 460,000. That's because it's linked up with my MetaMask, which MetaMask is quite a trusted, well-known Ethereum wallet. It's safe, it's secure, it gives you different options for how quick you want to send payments. Very low fees, like really tiny. I'm talking, for me to send 500,000 Hex, it'll probably cost me about 3p, something like that. I can send Hex to this platform, and say if I want to deposit 1,000 Hex, I can then choose how many days I want to stake that for. So let's say I stake it for 2 days. It says here that all in total, my total Hex would have gone up by half a Hex, which isn't a lot. Now let's do it over 7 days. You can see here that I've now got 1,003 Hex. So I've gained 3 Hex. They're half a cent each almost, so you're talking about 1.5 cents I've gained in a week. But obviously I have way more than 1,000. I have 460,000. So therefore, if I was to stake these for 1 week, I would gain 1,657 Hex. Now, where did these Hex come from? All those Bitcoin addresses I told you, there was 10,000 Hex created for every Bitcoin that's out there. He stopped anyone who's associated with Mt. Gox's wallet addresses, they can't claim Hex. The Satoshi Bitcoin address can't claim Hex. The people that are involved in the OnePlus token in China, the massive scam, that he stopped them from any of their addresses. They can't claim their free hex either. So there's all these big wows and all these big scams, BitConnect, they can't claim their free hex. So that means there's tons and tons of hex that are left over that can't be claimed, that can be shared between everyone else that stakes. Also, people that decide to stake, so say if I was to stake for 700 days, but say 350 days into that, I go, oh, do you know what? I really need my money back because I need to go and buy a car. I can end the stake whenever I want. There's a little button down here, you can't see because my face is in the way, but it will say end stake. You would then forfeit those interest that you would have earned, and they take a penalty. It's not huge sums. And the only way you'd actually be negative is if you decided to stake for 700 days and then 2 days later, then you ended it. A very small amount into it, they would actually take your capital away. So bear that in mind. You can actually lose your hex if you start messing about with the staking days and not actually doing what you say you're going to do. So all of that money, all those extra hex gets put in a pot, and there's going to be a big payday of hex. At the end of the day 351 or day 152, I believe it's going to be on, there's going to be a big payday. If you stake your hex past this date, even to the day, you will get a share of that pot that is just building up, building up. Now this incentivizes you and me to, instead of staking just for like 1 week at a time, you can see here, if I was to stake for 1 week, I would actually get 1,657 hex, which I'd be quite happy with that. That's, you're talking about 800 cent worth, which is $80 worth within a week. That's awesome. There's a big payday. So if I was to go, which is day 351, we're on 151, so it's about 200 days. So let's say I do 202 days. Now you can see that I qualify for the big payday. If I actually change this to 199 days, you'll see that I don't qualify for it. So you have to be staking past the date of the big payday, day 352. You can see here the amount of hex that I would receive is huge. It's almost doubling what I've got and some. So this gives massive incentivization. Now my hex currently, I don't know what the product, because it's gone up 20% today while I've been making this video, but let's just say my hex is worth half a cent. I've got 460,000 of them, so whatever that is, if I double that, you do the maths, I've made quite a lot of money for staking that day. Something to be careful of though is that I imagine a lot of people are going to stake to this date, and then they're going to sell their tokens on the exchange to receive their big payday. So we may see a massive dip in the price on this day. But when you actually look at some of the statistics of this, because again it's all transparent and clear on the main page, you can actually view all the statistics, the volume, the charts, the exchanges, everything on here. It's so much information, it's unreal. It shows you that the average, so this is, you know, some people are staking longer, some people are not staking that long at all. The average is something like 4.2 years. So people are staking, willing to stake this coin for 4 years. That's insane. But this helps with the adoption, the growth, the security, obviously the interest that everyone's gaining. They obviously must believe in this platform heavily for them to do that. So that's a way that they're looking to gain a lot of cryptocurrency enthusiasts, because a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space are here just to make money, and if you buy hex, you can stake your hex and get more money, and a lot better APRs than all of those other ones out there. If you currently deposit Bitcoin to crypto.com, they're offering 6.5% APR over the year. You've got Nexo, they're offering I think 4% on Bitcoin, unless you get their stable coin version, which then you're doing the same thing as this anyway. You're trusting a third party sort of platform, and then you've got to convert that into Bitcoin on whatever date. You can get up to like 12%, some of them, but this is offering obviously like 370% APY as long as you deposit past the big payday. So that will keep people interested for a long time, and this is going to continuously go on. There's always going to be staking rewards as the platform goes on. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen after the big payday. Are there going to be another big payday set a year from that time to sort of incentivize more people to stake after that, or is it going to really drop in sort of APY on what you're going to get? I don't know what's going to happen with that, but for now, obviously, I'm concentrating on the next 6 to 7 months. It's a very profitable platform to stake on. So that's really cool. Now, you may think, yeah, but there's only a couple of exchanges that actually offer exchange rates. And obviously, if I then create a KYC process, I have to then register. It might take 2 days. By that time, the price could tank and you lose all your money. That has happened to me. I don't know if you guys remember Z Classic. I don't know if you remember Envian. They all dropped by the time you could get on an exchange and actually sell them. So something else that I don't mean to be blowing Hex's trumpet too much, but they've created this swap platform. No KYC. You just go on, you put on what it is that you want to swap. So if I want to swap my Hex, I can select a token, and not just Ethereum, any ERC20 token. You can just go on here, click on Salt, and I can just click connect to wallet. And what it will do is it will take my Hex out and then send back Salt into my MetaMask wallet. Now, obviously, the main one, if you're looking to cash out, and this is something that I've actually tried. I've swapped on this platform Hex into Ethereum, then sent my MetaMask wallet the Ethereum, and then sent the Ethereum from the MetaMask into my Coinbase account. Why did I do that? Because I know I can then sell my Ethereum and get the money back into my wallet. Or what I'm planning to do is exchange it for Bitcoin. So this is a really good way of accumulating either more Bitcoin or if you do want to cash out. I know this works. I've made sure that this works before I've talked about this video today, because I remember back in the days of BitConnect where you had to send them Bitcoin, they then sent you BitConnect tokens or BitConnect, whatever they were, and then you had to go send them to an exchange, and then you had to exchange it for Bitcoin, or it was just a mess. Whereas this, I could do this, and if I actually set the fees to the fastest, which I think is 10 cents, I could have this in my Coinbase wallet within, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes. It's really fast. So this is an awesome platform, and this is KYC free. The code for this is open source, so if something happens to Richard Hart, the development team can just carry on with it. So hasn't got a centralized point of failure of just Richard Hart. It doesn't, sort of, the buck doesn't stop with Richard Hart. So it's ticking all the right boxes. He's really thought about this and thought, right, what's good and bad about cryptocurrency, what works and what doesn't. Right, let's put that into our system. Now, what that tends to draw on, because this is so different to Bitcoin and Ethereum, is obviously people going scam. You know, oh, you can earn high interest, scam. Oh, you can earn a passive income, scam. And in the future, those people may be right. Maybe something will happen with Hex that will prove them all right. But then you could say that about many of the platforms out there, even Ethereum itself. So if you're in cryptocurrency, as long as you've got a exit strategy, so a way that you can quickly get the money out and send it to your wallet again, you can get your money back out. Brilliant. I'm happy with that. So you can either do it through this swap platform. If that goes down, you can then go to some of the exchanges. I really like that. It gives you a couple of different alternative routes to get out. Like I say, the level of transparency, I've actually gone through and read, if you go through here, there's a lot of information. I actually went through and read audits that were done. So Richard Hart had 3 audits done, I believe, on this. 2 of them were for the actual code, to check that the code was all right, and also one on the actual economics of the platform, I believe, how, you know, where these coins are going to be created, how they're going to be shared out, how they're going to be distributed, and they've all come back thumbs up, and they've all come from reputable audit firms. So again, and the fact that he's actually posted, so if you click up the top here where it says tech specs, you can actually find the audits that have been done on Hex, and you can actually click on these and actually read them yourself, go through them. I've read through them all to see what they've said about them. I've also researched the audit companies, and they seem like reputable firms. Obviously, I don't know one audit firm to the other, but from what I've read in the comments and the Reddit pages, they seem like a reputable audit firms, and there's a lot of information here. More information than I've ever seen. I remember with Tether, EOS, and some of the others out there, they were just saying, yeah, we've been audited and it's all fine. Even with Mt. Gox, yeah, we've been audited, it's fine. But no one ever saw the reports, no one ever spoke to the auditors, no one ever said to them, have they got that amount of money? Have they got that amount of coins? But this is very clear, very transparent, and it's all been audited 2 or 3 times. So if you want to, you can read this information yourself. It's all free on the hex.win website. So I encourage you to go check that out. So that's it from me. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but there's so much to take in that I felt like a quick 5-minute video wouldn't really cut it. So I've tried to talk as fast as I can. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a video of me in the next day or two, how I actually get from my MetaMask to staking it, how much I receive in staking, and then obviously I'll do another video, say a week later, of me withdrawing that stake and actually converting it back into Ethereum, so you can see it firsthand. If you want to see that content, smash that like button and also click the subscribe button. Thank you to all the new followers, and thank you to the original people that have followed me through thick and thin, and I'll see you guys on the next video from Big Glen. Bye.